This is TWiT.
By the way, bipartisan bill sponsored by Matthew Green's article is very good. He's a cryptographer at Johns Hopkins and not a crazy flaming political guy. This guy is very,
he
very
taught
serious.
me all about differential privacy.
Oh, yeah. He's good.
I like him a lot.
He's one of the best. So Lindsey Graham and Dick Blumenthal, boy, if you wouldn't expect them sitting in a tree, co-sponsors. This bill is a weird bill. It attacks some of the things we hold very important on the internet in very interesting ways. Earn it means companies will have to earn their Section 230 protection by doing everything they can to capture child predators. Always a good thing.
As if the platforms aren't. I mean, this is such a PR thing. As if the platforms are not in fact today doing everything they can.
Right.
They are not doing everything they can. They are not, Jeff. Did you not read that horrifying story in the New York Times about how they don't respond in time to police efforts to get data from them because they don't have enough people? You didn't see this? Go read that story because it is horrifying. It doesn't argue for encryption or any, it's not making those kind of arguments, but it's basically saying that these tech platforms are in a lot of ways complicit because when investigators try to get data, they have to wait weeks to get to get proof basically back from these companies, and people are going free. They can't catch them in time, and maybe maybe law enforcement is scapegoating, but it sounded pretty.
It's a very good thing to invoke. Think of the children. As again, I said again, it worked really well with FOSTA and SESTA. Earn It works, this is Matthew Green writing, by revoking Section 230 protections. That's a sacred cow for us on the internet. It makes it possible for providers to operate on the internet by preventing the provider from being held responsible for what their customers do on a platform like Facebook. Just like the phone company is not responsible for the conversations you have on the phone, Section 230 protected Facebook, Twitter, more importantly, at least from my point of view, blog comment sections from stuff posted there. The new bill, Green goes on to say, would make it financially impossible for providers like WhatsApp and Apple to operate services unless they conduct, and this is in quotes, best practices for scanning their systems for child porn. But, Green says, there are no best practices in existence, and the techniques for doing this and still at the same time preserving privacy are completely unknown.
There's the rub.
The bill creates a government-appointed committee that will tell technology providers what technology they have to use. The specific nature of the committee is Byzantine and described within the bill itself. Needless to say, the makeup of the committee, which can include as few as 0 data security experts, ensures that end-to-end encryption will almost certainly not be considered a best practice. You can't scan those messages for illegal activities. Well, you can't have that encryption. So Green, who's a cryptographer, thinks this is a backdoor way to allow the government to ban encryption on commercial services. And even more beautifully, it doesn't come out and actually ban the use of encryption. It just makes it commercially infeasible.
It's like a loophole.
And
that's the way we like to do things.
Yeah, clever, isn't it?
Damn.
Yep, and small companies, this could kill them. And so if you hate the platforms owning the world and you want some new entrants, this kind of regulation creates a barrier to entry.
And unfortunately, and this again worked so well with FOSTA and SESTA, nobody wants to say, everybody who writes about this has to say, I'm not in favor of child sexual abuse material.
Of course.
Let me be clear, that's horrific, that's terrible. And that's why they use this.
Yeah.
Because
they just need to be pro internet freedom.
Yeah.
This is like the abortion language,
Yeah.
You're not you're pro-choice or pro-life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
End-to-end encryption makes scanning for child sexual abuse material almost impossible. And so, I'm not going to presume that Dianne Feinstein and Lindsey Graham and Dick Blumenthal are proposing this bill because they want to get rid of encryption, although they've all said they want to get rid of encryption.
No,
but it may be the side
Dianne
effect.
Feinstein's been
She
not
hates
a friend
encryption. She does not
Yeah,
like
she
it.
does.
and Lindsey Graham does not like it. I don't know where Dick Blumenthal stands on it, but you know, and it could very well be, you know, you're a senator, you go around, I need sponsors for my bill, it's against child sexual abuse. Okay, sign me up. They're not technically sophisticated. They may not understand that no means it really exists to do this in a private way that allows encryption. And so we're all against child porn. Nobody's saying that's a good thing. Nobody.
Amen, brother.
But be careful what you wish for. Section 230 is really important. Without Section 230, these businesses can't operate. They just can't operate. So that,
or to put it another way, forget the businesses. We can't converse.
Right.
Because they're not going to let us converse because our conversation will put them in a position of liability.
Right. Mm-hmm. So in that case, they're going to say, well, Section 230 encryption, which is more important to my business. It's very clear. Section 230.
Yeah.
Encryption, okay, fine. So it's actually you got to admire they're clever. That's clever.
Sounds like some lawyers have been at it. It's
clever. Instead of going head on against encryption, like the Swedes or whoever, like the Russians and Australians, this is a little jujitsu. Very clever.
Wow.